Do you know the formula for your own stagnation? It is not hidden. It is not complex. It is not a mystery reserved for philosophers and scholars. It is painfully simple. You understand the assignment completely, yet you remain rooted in place. You know exactly what must be done. You know what actions will change everything. You know the habits that will transform your life. You know the goals that could alter your destiny. Still, you do not move. The clock keeps running. The hours pass unbothered. The days slip through your fingers. The calendar pages flip quietly, while that one critical objective remains untouched, unstarted, unclaimed. It sits inside you like an unopened treasure, waiting for your courage, waiting for your decision, waiting for the version of you that finally stops delaying. You tell yourself you will begin soon. You promise yourself tomorrow will be different. You believe that just a little more time will magically rearrange your life, but it never does, because the roadblock is not a lack of willpower. It is not laziness. It is not incompetence. It is a faulty belief system silently poisoning your progress. You believe you need to feel ready. You believe action requires motivation. You believe greatness requires perfect emotional alignment. This belief is the invisible wall that keeps you locked in place. And until you confront it, until you rewrite it, your potential will continue to rot inside the graveyard of, "I'll start later." So today, we begin the override, a full mental reboot, a new operating system that compels movement even when feelings disappear. Because if you do not do this now, your peak performance will keep dissolving into unrealized potential. This entire script, across all 5 parts, is the demolition of that old system and the construction of a new one. Today begins the rise. The dynamic of action motion generates motivation. There is a myth that enslaves millions. A myth that ruins dreams before they ever take their first breath. A myth that sounds reasonable, feels logical, but is absolutely destructive. You must feel motivated before you act. This is one of the greatest lies ever told to the human mind, because the truth is brutally simple. Emotion does not create motion. Motion creates emotion. Action creates motivation. Action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action creates reliability. Action creates the identity of someone who finishes. Every time you act, your brain rewards you with momentum. Every step unlocks another step. Every movement expands your belief. But hesitation kills everything. Most people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect mental state, the perfect conditions. They postpone, they delay, they wait. This waiting becomes a habit. That habit becomes identity. That identity becomes destiny. And that destiny becomes regret. The elite performers, the ones who shift industries, the ones who reshape economies, the ones who build empires, they operate differently. They understand that clarity is a dividend of action. You move first. You understand later. You commit first. You figure it out along the way. Because life is not designed to reveal all its instructions at the start. Life rewards the one who steps forward into uncertainty. Edison knew this. He did not experiment because he felt inspired. He felt inspired because he experimented. Henry Ford did not wait for the world to approve his vision. He imposed his conviction onto the world through consistent, decisive action. Their defining trait was not motivation. It was willingness to act without motivation. This is the separation. The writer who forces the first sentence eventually writes a masterpiece. The entrepreneur who launches the prototype eventually builds an empire. The speaker who steps on stage trembling eventually commands the room. These people do not follow emotion. They follow commitment. Action before motivation, motion before confidence, discipline before desire. This is the formula. And once you grasp it, your life begins changing rapidly. Because the moment you act, your mind shifts, your vision sharpens, your hesitation fades, your sense of purpose awakens. Movement dismantles doubt. Movement dissolves fear. Movement replaces hesitation with grounded certainty. If you ever want to break the cycle of stagnation, you must accept this truth. You do not wait for motivation. You create it. Conquering the illusion of fear and doubt, fear stands at the front door of every major transformation. It is a master illusionist. It paints horrifying possibilities. It whispers imaginary danger. It magnifies your weaknesses. It fabricates outcomes that almost never happen. Fear asks, what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't handle the consequences? A fear thrives in imagination. Fear grows in silence. Fear expands in hesitation. But the moment you take action, fear evaporates. Because fear has one fatal flaw. Fear cannot survive contact with reality. To understand this, look at Edwin C. Barnes. He had no money, no power, no roadmap, no guarantee that Edison would ever take him seriously. But he boarded a freight train anyway. He walked into Edison's office anyway. He declared his intention anyway. Because while fear whispered, his commitment was louder. And once he acted, fear lost its teeth. This is the core truth. Fear is not the obstacle. Inaction is. Fear becomes smaller every time you move forward. Fear becomes weaker every time you take a step. Fear becomes irrelevant every time you choose courage over hesitation. You do not eliminate fear by thinking. You eliminate it by acting. Courage is not comfort. Courage is movement in the presence of discomfort. The ones who rise are not fearless people. They are action-driven people who refuse to negotiate with fear. Your mission is simply stop waiting for fear to disappear. It won't. Move anyway. Advance anyway. Step forward anyway. Because fear loses its power the moment you refuse to obey it. The greatest tragedy is not that people lack dreams. It is that people bury them under the heavy blanket of procrastination. You have felt it. That silent delay. That subtle postponement. That intention to start soon. That quiet promise to begin later. It feels harmless. It feels small. It feels forgivable. But it is the silent assassin of your potential. Procrastination is not laziness. It is fear wearing a respectable disguise. It is hesitation marketing itself as preparation. It is avoidance rebranded as planning. Procrastination whispers, I need more time. I need more clarity. I need the right moment. I need the right mood. I need to feel motivated. These excuses feel comforting, but they are lethal. Because every time you delay, you reinforce a dangerous identity. I am someone who does not begin. And identity shapes destiny. This is why your biggest visions never leave the paper. This is why your most powerful ideas remain trapped in your head. This is why your best intentions fade into forgotten promises. The truth is harsh. The perfect moment will never arrive. The perfect conditions will never align. The perfect mood will never appear. The perfect clarity will never land on its own. You must manufacture the spark. You must initiate the movement. You must create the momentum. You must reject the illusion that you need more time. You only need one thing, a beginning. Annihilating the procrastination habit, ask yourself honestly, how many dreams died because of the sentence, I'll start tomorrow? How many opportunities vanished because you needed a little more planning? How many goals evaporated because you waited for a feeling that never arrived? Tomorrow is the graveyard where your ambitions are slowly buried. Procrastination is a thief, a subtle thief, a quiet thief, a gentle thief, but a thief nonetheless. It steals your hours. It steals your momentum. It steals your confidence. It steals your identity. And the longer you wait, the more powerful it becomes. Because hesitation compounds too. People think procrastination is a one-time decision. It is not. It is a mindset, a pattern, a habit, a silent architecture that builds the foundation of stagnation. To break it, you must disrupt it. Not with grand gestures, not with massive leaps, not with monumental action, but with the smallest possible movement. Introduce motion. Introduce initiation. Introduce a beginning so tiny your brain cannot reject it. Commit to 5 minutes. 5 minutes of work. 5 minutes of focus. 5 minutes of execution. Because the mind cannot resist a small beginning. Once those 5 minutes start, momentum takes over. The resistance disappears. The fog clears. The brain activates. The identity of movement takes control. This is not theory. This is neurobiology. When you act, your brain rewards you with cognitive energy, with clarity, with drive, with a sense of capability. The movement becomes self-sustaining. This is why one small step can collapse an entire empire of procrastination. Discipline, the engine of unstoppable progress. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not suffering. Discipline is not self-cruelty. Discipline is self-respect. It is the belief that you deserve a life built on achievement, not avoidance. It is the decision to keep your promises to yourself. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation fluctuates. Discipline persists. Motivation is seasonal. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is optional. Discipline is required. Every person you admire, every achiever, every leader, every creator, every innovator did not reach the top through motivation. They reached it through discipline. They did the work when they were tired, when they were uninspired, when they were overwhelmed, when they were afraid, when they were unprepared, when they were uncomfortable. They did the work because the work was scheduled. They did the work because their future demanded it. They did the work because discipline built their identity. Every time you keep a commitment, your self-trust grows. Your confidence expands. Your mental strength strengthens. You become someone you can rely on. And a person who trusts themselves is unstoppable. You cannot buy discipline. You cannot borrow discipline. You cannot fake discipline. You must train it, like a muscle, like a skill, like a craft. Start small. Wake up when you say you will. Finish the task you promised yourself. Complete the work you committed to. These small acts compound into an unbreakable identity. The identity of someone who executes no matter what. This is the identity that reshapes destinies. Building the internal machine of reliability, the true power of discipline is not in big accomplishments. It's in the quiet victories, the unseen battles, the invisible moments where you choose movement over excuses. Every day, you are teaching your mind what kind of person you are. When you delay, you teach your mind that your word is negotiable. When you avoid, you teach your mind that discomfort is dangerous. When you quit, you teach your mind that difficulty is a valid exit. But when you act, even a little, you teach your mind that progress is non-negotiable. You teach your mind that discomfort is acceptable. You teach your mind that effort is your default state. Discipline is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is steady. It is unshakable. It is the everyday choice to move forward even when you feel nothing. The discipline identity, ask yourself, Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when motivation dies? Who are you when the feelings disappear? Who are you when the excitement fades? Most people stop. Winners continue. Most people delay. Winners initiate. Most people negotiate. Winners execute. This is the separation. The undisciplined chase feelings. The disciplined chase results. The undisciplined wait for readiness. The disciplined act into readiness. The undisciplined search for motivation. The disciplined create it. Your life will not change because you feel inspired. Your life will change because you become disciplined. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality, between dreams and results, between desire and achievement. Build this bridge, and no goal is unreachable. There comes a moment in every person's journey when life stops whispering and begins roaring. A moment where comfort collapses. A moment where stability fractures. A moment where everything you depended on shakes beneath your feet. It is in these moments that people either break or rise. Adversity introduces you to yourself, not the self you show the world, not the self you pretend to be, but the raw, unfiltered version of the person behind your fears, your doubts, your excuses. Pain is the mirror that exposes who you really are. Most run from it. They hide from it. They numb it. They deny it. But winners, the rare ones, they confront it. They walk toward it. They weaponize it. They use it as a furnace to forge something unbreakable. Harnessing adversity as a catalyst, adversity is not a punishment. It is a curriculum, a training ground, a catalyst for evolution. Every setback carries within it a seed of equal or greater opportunity. But opportunity reveals itself only to those who refuse to fold. The weak interpret difficulty as evidence that they should stop. The strong interpret difficulty as confirmation they are on the right path. Pain is the currency you pay to unlock your higher self. You cannot evolve while remaining comfortable. You cannot grow while staying safe. You cannot transform while avoiding pressure. Pressure is the birthplace of strength. Pressure extracts weaknesses. Pressure removes illusions. Pressure burns away the unnecessary and leaves only the essential. You are not defined by the pain. You are defined by your response to it. Pain as fuel. Pain has two possible outcomes. It can shatter you, or it can sculpt you. The choice is yours. When adversity hits, you can collapse into self-pity, or you can rise through self-mastery. You can retreat, or you can redirect. You can complain, or you can convert. Pain is a force, a raw, untamed energy. It can destroy, or it can accelerate. It depends entirely on how you channel it. Some use pain as a fortress they never escape. Others turn pain into the engine that drives their unstoppable ascent. The world's strongest people were not shaped by comfort. They were shaped by storms, by betrayal, by loneliness, by rejection, by failure, by loss. Pain humbled them. Pain trained them. Pain carved depth into their soul. Pain made them unshakable. The transformation hidden in struggle. Every struggle you face is an invitation to evolve, an invitation to grow, an invitation to elevate. The transformation is subtle at first. You begin to think differently. You begin to react differently. You begin to detach from the opinions of others. You begin to depend less on emotion and more on discipline. You begin to see setbacks as stepping stones. This is not motivational theory. This is psychological reality. Strength is not built in comfort. Wisdom is not built in ease. Resilience is not built in stability. Everything that makes you powerful, your patience, your courage, your clarity, your hunger, your self-control, your fearlessness, comes from adversity. You grow through what you endure. The struggle you are facing right now is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of transformation. You are not being destroyed. You are being rebuilt. Becoming unbreakable, people believe that the strongest individuals are the ones who never fall. That is not true. The strongest individuals are the ones who rise after every fall. Fall 7 times, rise 8. Break, reform, collapse, rebuild, lose, learn, fail, advance. Being unbreakable does not mean being invincible. It means that no matter how hard life hits, you will not stay down. Every comeback makes you more dangerous. Every trial sharpens your edge. Every struggle strengthens your core. Pain is temporary, but the power it builds is permanent. Using pain as leverage, when life hits you hard, remember this: you are not being buried. You are being planted. The pain you feel is the pressure that forms diamonds. The discomfort you feel is the resistance that builds muscle. The heartbreak you feel is the clearing that creates depth. The version of you that pain destroys is the version of you that was never meant to survive the journey. You outgrow yourself through suffering. Winners channel pain. They use it to intensify their focus. They use it to sharpen their discipline. They use it to ignite their ambition. They use it to eliminate their excuses. Pain becomes a tool. Pain becomes a compass. Pain becomes a forge. And through that forge, you emerge indestructible. The pain threshold of champions: you cannot rise above your pain tolerance. Every champion has a higher threshold than the average person. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand what suffering creates. The average person retreats. The winner advances. The average person hesitates. The winner intensifies. The average person breaks. The winner rebuilds. This difference is not talent. It is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is the cultivated ability to walk toward pain instead of away from it. When you embrace pain, fear loses control. Doubt loses influence. Weakness loses power. You experience a shift. You stop running from challenges and start pursuing them. Challenges become opportunities. Hardship becomes fuel. Struggle becomes acceleration. This mindset is the foundation of greatness. There is a brutal truth most people never confront. Your life is not controlled by talent. Not by luck, not by timing, not by circumstances. Your life is controlled by the precision of your goals and the consistency of your actions. A person without goals is like a ship with no compass, drifting, wandering, reacting, never advancing with purpose. But a person with engineered goals, clear, measurable, non-negotiable, becomes unstoppable. Because clarity creates direction. Direction creates momentum. Momentum creates inevitability. Engineering specific, non-negotiable goals, vague dreams create vague results. Ambiguous intentions lead to ambiguous outcomes. The world does not reward wishful thinking. It rewards strategic execution. The first step is brutal honesty. What exactly do you want? Not the filtered answer. Not the socially acceptable answer, not the watered-down version that keeps you safe. What do you truly want? Wealth, influence, mastery, resilience, purpose, freedom. Write it clearly. State it precisely. Define it with the sharpness of a blade. Because a goal you cannot define is a goal you cannot achieve. Ask yourself, what is the measurable target? What is the exact deadline? What are the milestones? How do I track the progress? What will this goal require of me that the current version of me has not yet mastered? This level of clarity turns imagination into architecture. Reverse engineering the vision. Once the ultimate goal is set, you break it down into components, into steps, into micro missions. The grand vision may feel overwhelming, But when you reverse engineer it into small, controllable tasks, the impossible becomes inevitable. Every large accomplishment is just a collection of smaller victories. One skill learned, one habit installed, one task completed, one day executed. Each small step adds to your momentum. Progress compounds, discipline compounds, skill compounds, and with compounding momentum, you begin to feel unstoppable. Action is the difference between fantasy and reality. A goal without execution is nothing more than a beautifully written lie. You cannot think your way into success. You must act every day, without negotiation, without hesitation, without waiting for motivation or emotion. Action is the conversion tool that transforms vision into life. You take one step, then another, then another. This daily execution is what separates builders from dreamers. Builders move, dreamers wait, builders execute. Dreamers imagine, builders endure. Dreamers make excuses. You must decide which side you stand on. Structure eliminates procrastination. People believe they lack discipline. But most people don't lack discipline, they lack structure. Structure creates stability. Stability creates progress. Build the system, write the goal. Break it into tasks. Schedule the tasks. Execute the tasks. Measure the output. Adjust the strategy. Repeat. This system removes the need for emotional readiness. It turns action into automation. It turns consistency into identity. When your goals are structured, procrastination loses its power. The mind cannot delay what is already decided. Perfection is the silent enemy. Perfectionism is a liar. It convinces you that starting imperfectly is worse than not starting at all. This is the deception that kills millions of dreams. Success is not the result of perfection. Success is the result of iteration. You try, you adjust, you refine, you evolve. Failure is not a problem. Stagnation is. You do not need the perfect plan. You need the relentless execution of a good enough plan. Execution beats perfection every time. The discipline of micro wins. The greatest victories in life are built on small, steady wins, the daily tasks most people overlook. Success is not a giant leap. It is a long series of small steps. You track these steps. You celebrate them. You let them accumulate. Each micro win programs your subconscious to expect progress. Each completed step strengthens your identity as someone who finishes what they start. Small wins become internal evidence that you are capable of monumental results. Accountability, the invisible accelerator. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they answer to no one. When you hold yourself accountable with ruthless honesty, you eliminate loopholes. You stop negotiating. You stop making excuses. You stop retreating into comfort. Track the numbers. Track the hours. Track the results. Accountability is gravity. It pulls you forward. The more honest you are about your performance, the faster you grow. Your goals are not optional. People treat goals as optional desires. Champions treat goals as obligations, mandatory, non-negotiable, bound to identity. The moment your goals shift from interest to duty, everything changes. You stop hoping for progress. You start manufacturing it. You stop waiting for success. You start demanding it from yourself. You stop acting like a participant. You start behaving like an architect. This shift in mindset is the axis of transformation, the mathematical reality of relentless effort. If you take consistent action every single day, your success becomes mathematically inevitable. Consistency plus time equals domination. Even if your effort is not perfect, even if your pace feels slow, even if your progress seems invisible, the compound effect is quietly accumulating into something extraordinary. One day, the world calls it overnight success. but you know it was the outcome of thousands of private victories. Success becomes certain when you remove the exit. Winners do not allow the option of quitting. Once you eliminate the exit, you activate a deeper gear. You stop flirting with failure and commit to progress with absolute loyalty. When surrender is not an option, success becomes the only outcome. This is how legacies are built. This is how destiny is shaped. This is how greatness is engineered. Your mind is the command center of every victory you will ever earn and every failure you will ever suffer. Everything begins inside you long before it becomes visible outside you. A weak mindset is a silent sabotage system. It destroys potential before potential ever reaches daylight. A strong mindset is an unbreakable fortress, a structure built brick by brick through discipline, adversity, and clarity. This fortress is not inherited, it is engineered. And today you begin that engineering. Developing an unbreakable mental fortress, your mindset, is the foundation upon which your identity, your decisions, and your life outcomes are built. If the foundation is weak, your entire structure collapses under pressure. If the foundation is fortified, you withstand storms that would destroy ordinary people. A fragile mind sees setbacks as confirmation of failure. A fortified mind sees setbacks as recalibration. A fragile mind says, "This is happening to me." A fortified mind says, "This is happening for me." This single shift transforms your entire life. Interpreting setbacks as strategic data. Every setback contains coded information. A fragile mind ignores it. A fortress mind decodes it. Setbacks reveal where your strategy is weak, where your skills need reinforcement, where your discipline needs tightening. Failure is not punishment. Failure is instruction. Champions do not collapse when the world hits them. They observe, they extract the lesson, they evolve. Every time you rise after being hit, you thicken the walls of your mental fortress. Every comeback adds another layer of strength. The power of internal dialogue. Your thoughts are architects building your inner reality. If you feed yourself self-sabotaging language, you create a self-fulfilling future. The mind obeys what it hears repeatedly. So you must speak intentionally. You must speak strategically. You must speak with fire. Replace internal doubt with internal certainty. I am capable. I am evolving. I am not stopping, and I finish everything I start. These statements become psychological armor. They turn hesitation into conviction. They turn fear into fuel. They turn adversity into training. Your dialogue is the ignition source of your transformation. Adopting the growth mindset. The growth mindset is the closest thing to a real life cheat code. It is the belief that skills can be acquired, talents can be developed, and abilities are expandable. People with fixed minds stay stuck. They avoid challenge. They crumble quickly. They interpret effort as weakness. People with growth minds advance. They embrace difficulty. They evolve aggressively. They understand that effort is the gateway to mastery. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to evolve into the next version of yourself. This mindset is the foundation of your mental fortress. Protecting your mental environment, no fortress survives if the gates are left open. Your environment either strengthens your mind or corrodes it. Negative voices are corrosive acid, slow, silent, destructive. Toxic influences poison your ambitions. You cannot invite negativity into your life and expect success to stay. You must curate your environment with ruthless precision. Choose people who elevate your standards. Choose content that sharpens your mindset. Choose influences that fuel your progress. Every mental input either builds your fortress or cracks its walls. You decide the outcome. Mental durability beyond motivation success is not owned by the talented. It is owned by the mentally durable. Many talented people fail because they crumble when motivation evaporates. But the mentally durable continue long after the excitement fades. They understand that motivation is temporary, but mental strength is permanent. They push forward when they are tired, when they are uncertain, when they are afraid, when the world doubts them. Mental durability is the defining trait of every long-term winner. Champions are built in the hours when no one sees the work, in the moments when quitting feels easy but finishing feels necessary. This endurance creates separation. This endurance creates mastery. This endurance creates destiny. Your final identity shift, you have learned the dynamics of action, the destruction of fear, the elimination of procrastination, the building of discipline, the power of adversity, the engineering of goals, and the construction of mental fortitude. Now there is one final step. You must decide who you are becoming. Not hope, not wish, not dream. Decide. Because identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Results shape destiny. When you decide your identity, you reshape your future. I am the person who does the work. I am the person who does not retreat. I am the person who executes daily. I am the person who finishes. I am the person who rises. I am the person who dominates my path. When this identity becomes non-negotiable, your results become inevitable. The final declaration, your ending command, you must now choose between the life you live and the life you are capable of living. You must choose between potential and proof, between hesitation and action, between fear and power, between the old version of you and the one standing at the threshold of greatness. Your transformation will not happen by accident. It will happen because you decide to build it brick by brick, habit by habit, action by action, day after day. This is the moment your future begins. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, stand up, recalibrate your mindset, rebuild your discipline, reclaim your direction, reignite your ambition, and step forward as the architect of your destiny. This is your life. This is your mission. This is your rise. Now move.